Hey guys, iRide 705. Have you seen our last few videos? We did the squish band compression, got the motor ready to reassemble. Now I'm going to start working on installing the KOSO EGT gauge. I don't have everything in yet, it's coming in the mail. But I'm going to get the pipe on there and pre-drill the hole. I know it's a 1/4 inch hole. It's got to be 6 inches away from the piston skirt on a twin pipe engine. On a single pipe engine, they're four inches away from the exhaust skirt. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. I got my pipes laid out here, how they sit in the sled. I repainted everything. I like to put everything back as clean as possible. So yeah, this little skirt here actually slides in to the part that's on the machine, so we're gonna have to take that in consideration. It goes in about 1/2 inch, so let's get the handy verniers here. I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do that. Got the pipes off, so it's pretty easy. I can rotate the cylinders so I can see the pistons. There you go. And from there I can measure in here. That's a better side here. Kind of a tight fit. So I'm going to make sure I can see my piston. Yes, I can. It's got about 3.5 inches. Yeah, 3.5 inches. And then, like I said, the piston, the pipes actually sit in here as well. So 3.5. Oh man, I'm tired. I've been here since 4 in the morning, so this is really simple math, but I just anyways, it's 3.5 inches from the outside of this here to the piston skirt. So that means from about here to the piston skirt is 3.5 inches. We have to go another 3, whatever the fuck it is, 2.5 inches, and then we'll drill our 1/4 inch hole, and that's where our sensors will go. So that's pretty easy to do. I'm not going to go through that with you. It's basically grabbing a drill and a 1/4 inch drill bit and popping a hole through there. I'll probably drill a smaller hole first and then go into the 1/4 inch hole just so it doesn't wander. Or maybe not. No, I'll just go right to the size. Fuck it. I could punch it and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think it's really necessary. So I'm gonna put the phone, or not the phone, but the camera down so I can focus on what I'm doing here. All right. So we'll see you in a few minutes. I'll have that drilled, and then we'll reinstall that back into the sled and get this whole thing on the roll. Hey guys, it's the big day. The KOSO gauges showed up. Pretty pumped. Nice little system. I've had these before, but I haven't had the one with the water temp sensor. That's the temp sensor there that I have to thread and tap into the head, and it's a 1/8 NPT. It comes with a bunch of brackets to mount it. These are for the exhaust pipes, so I can mount the probe sensors in the exhaust pipes. I already pre-drilled that. Even though looking at it, this looks smaller than 1/4 inch, and oh, I see why, because there's a little taper there for the 1/4 inch. So that's good. So yeah, so I'm going to take off the head. I'm not going to show you that. It's not a big deal. Drill, tap, done deal. I'm going to thread this in there, blow out the head, clean it out, make sure there's no chips or any debris in there. And then that's it. I can bolt back the head, back on the sled, fill her up with coolant, give her a yank and hope she starts, and I'll roll the camera for that one. Peace. Alright, I drilled and tapped the head. These are 600 heads, so they have interchangeable domes. So I popped out the domes. You can't even see on the other side there, but I can see that it's a little pocket. Drilled through, sure enough, it's a little empty space in there. Drilled and tapped, and away we went. I put a little bit of thread sealant on there. And we are ready to bolt down the heads, torque them down. So I'm going to look online for the torque specs, because I'm not sure of them offhand. I don't think I have any antifreeze here at the shop, so I'm probably going to have to go get some before I fire up the sled. But I'm going to go ahead and mount everything on for the EGT gauge, and I'm going to show you little clips of that as I go. So stay tuned. Okay guys, I got the head torqued back in. I got the front end raised up, filled it up full of antifreeze. There's the KOSO water temperature, and this is a stock one. My stock gauge doesn't read water temperature, so that's why that's not working out for me, and I bought the KOSO EGT gauges with the water temp sensor. So I'm going to leave the old plugs in it till I fire it up, and then after I get it running well, I'm going to get rid of the old plugs and put new plugs in. The reason I'm going to do that is because I might have introduced some coolant into the system, a little bit of grease, a little bit of whatever from taking it apart. I pre-drilled my holes for the KOSO EGT gauges. They come with little clamps. Let's see if I can get this so I can see it. Maybe not. So they come with these little clamps here. So that's basically going to wrap around the exhaust, and my little sensor is going to stick out of these. It's kind of a two-hand job here, so I'm going to put the camera down and just clamp those on there, and then I'll get back onto it and show you guys what I'm doing. This is the fast response probes that comes with it, and I believe you're supposed to stick this in a 1/4 inch or so into the cylinders. I will look at that spec, and what I'm going to do with that is I'm actually going to fish it through, mark a line on it exactly where I want it, and then that way there I know how deep to put it on. When I clamp this, kind of a compression fitting, it'll clamp onto here, it'll be permanent, so you don't get the chance to take this on and off and slide it everywhere you want. So I'm going to get those clamps on there. I'm going to get a couple of these installed, then I'll turn the camera back on and show you guys what I did. Alright guys, I have the EGT clamp on there, and it was a pain in the ass. I actually had to cut my my heat tape out a little bit because it was such a tight fit, but got it on there. And I'm going to do this one here after. The gauges, I thought the sensors had to go in about something kind of like 1/4 inch. I looked at the instructions, there's nothing written about that, so I'm not going to worry about too much. The pipe diameter is, well, yay big, so I'm just going to stick them in so they stick out 1/2 inch or so into the pipe. And that's it. So just going to put them down in there. It's pretty simple. You just slide them down, and you just torque this nut here, and then it, once you have it where you want it, you tighten it real tight, and then it clamps the little brass part onto the shaft here, and then you just run your wiring, cabling wherever you need it, and away you go, easy peasy. So I'm gonna get going on that. I'm gonna get the other clamp on there, tighten those down, run my wires. I'm gonna put my KOSO gauge right up here somewhere, so I'm gonna run all my wiring up there. I'm gonna get power from this. I believe this is for my hand warmers. So there should be power going to this, and I'll get a good ground off the frame here, and away she goes. So hopefully that all works. Alright guys, I mounted my gauge. All I did here was cut into my foam. It's kind of like a pretty tough foam. It's pretty solid. Cut into it, put my backing plate on there, drilled and tapped. Not drilled and tapped, sorry, I put the bolts. So it's pretty solid. Seems to shake pretty good with the bars and not a separate, so I think it'll be okay. It's kind of weird, the instructions don't really tell you which wire is which. One of them goes to a keyed power, the other one goes to power as well for RPM, and by the instructions it almost looks like you can hook them up together and it wouldn't make a difference. So that's what I did. I connected both negatives together, grounded them out, and I got my power off my my thumb warmer switch. And I'm getting a phone call. I'm gonna get that. Hello? 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 Yes? Hello? Can you hear me or? Fucking stupid. Hey guys, just want to give you an update on the KOSO EGT gauges. I got rudely interrupted by a phone call, lost my train of thought, forgot to record the rest of the video. You saw us put the ground to the frame, and I got power off of my thumb warmer, hand warmer power. You can grab power from anywhere on this sled. It doesn't have to be before the rectifier or after the rectifier. They actually suggest you grab it off of the headlight power. The only problem with that is, that's what I was going to do, but when you turn your high beams on, I believe it transfers the power to the other wire and low beams onto the other wire. They don't fire up on the same time when you put it high beams on. So you would, if you turn on your high beams, you would lose your KOSO gauge, which obviously you don't want to do. So you want to find constant power hand and thumb warmer is the perfect spot because there's constant power going to that switch. Now when you are running this off an 800, then with the X package, your hand and thumb warmers are going to be ran off of your gauge, so that won't work. But find 12 volt constant power, hook it up, and it's going to measure the pulses to determine what your RPM is. For some reason, these actually show up as 6 pulse. So when you set your settings, you're going to put it on the last setting, which is number 6, I believe, or number 5 or whatever. You'll see this little chart there, and it's a 6 pulse setup for a skidoo. Other than that, pretty straightforward. Hooked up the water temp, hooked up the EGT gauges, and pull the cord, let it rip, everything runs good. Yeah, so that's it, guys. There you have it. There's the KOSO EGT gauge mounted in our handlebars. Pretty simple to do. I think pretty much anybody can do this. You don't have to be an expert. Definitely worth doing, especially if you have a sled that you are unsure about. This one here is a 600 RS base with 700 cylinders, twin pipes. I recut the combustion chambers myself. The jetting was done from the previous guy. Supposedly it's running rich, so there's a lot going on here. And this little gauge here, although it's not the end all, it's not something you want to rely on for jetting, but it's a good baseline. Tells you if you're running a bit lean on your mid compared to your top, and it'll hopefully help you make sure you're not running lean when you think you're good. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Please subscribe. If you want to see other videos, when you subscribe, it'll automatically email notify you. We're going to be doing a lot more. Right now there's no snow yet, so we're not out riding with the sled, but as soon as the snow flies, we're going to be chomping with this. I have communicators, so I'll actually be able to talk while we're riding, and it's going to be a great time. So, peace!